Nick here, RevXS Customs. Today we're just going to show you another one of our projects we're working on. We're still in the production sort of prototype stage of this, so obviously there's a lot of printed parts on it. So up front here we've got a B4.1, so it's quite an old front end, associated buggy. We've given it a bit of a clean up, put some new shocks on it from year racing, some new tyres and new rims, just to make it a little bit nicer. On a Sucky servo from RCmart and year racing back things, and then we've got a Red's Racing 10.5 turns, so this thing should get up in Buggy. And on the back, it took us a while to track these down. These are HPI, I think they're Wheelie King rims. We wanted something that wasn't flat, and like obviously they're quite a close match to what's on the front. And this is a old Proline Dirtworks tyre, which I believe you can't get anymore. We got given a pair of these, which they turned out to be an odd pair. So that's where this sort of three-wheel project came from, was just getting given the odd set of wheels. So we've got a swing arm back here, pulley back to the other pulley here. Obviously we just got a little short mock-up shaft in here. That gives a 2.5 ratio, so it's basically like any other buggy sort of transmission, which makes it a little bit easier to get the gearing right. And then obviously spur is going to spit out this side off to the motor. So we've had a few people ask us why we've gone with the dual springs. Now on our three-wheel drift build, we originally had one spring on it. We found we had to run it quite hard to keep the front end from sagging, so we went to a dual on that, which means we could soften up the shocks because it was split across two, and it worked really well. So we just went straight up with the same setup. So we get quite a decent amount of suspension movement on here. You know, it's more than what we're ever going to need. So we've been playing around just with our center deck here, just making sure everything fits. So as it is, the battery will fit nice and snug back into there, and our speed controller will fit in here, and we've got to obviously work into where our receiver is going to go. I really don't like hiding the servos, but it may end up going there. It's sort of quite compact. We've got to make room. So the next part to finish off is our upper deck, which we've gone through, snapped this one, but we had this one sitting in here, and then we discovered that we had to sort of reshape just in here to make our body fit. So the plan is to have an upper deck there, and then we're going to have a couple of parts that are going to come back here, which we're going to wrap around the battery, which are going to sit lower, which should tie the front end into the center back into here to ensure that we don't get any of this, this flex in here. Obviously this is just an acrylic base plate. It's going to be done in alloy, which is going to be a lot stronger. So this is the body here that we got off a mate of ours. We're trying to make it a nice snug fit, make everything sort of flows, just the shape of that body flows back to that back wheel, and it just looks perfect. So as you can see here, we didn't quite calculate the shape of the chassis right, and it sort of cuts back in through the body. So we've reprofiled that. We're going to print another mock-up, make sure it fits, and then basically we've got everything we sort of need done. We haven't decided whether we're going to do any sort of back guard on this, or we're probably going to have to do something for the spur and pinion to try to keep the dust out. But for the belt, I'm thinking it might be alright. The problem is, as soon as you run a case on anything, the dirt can get trapped, and then it can make it worse. So sometimes it's sort of 50-50 on whether it's worthwhile or not doing it. So if you guys aren't already on my Instagram and Facebook, many of you probably already are. You would have seen lots of updates on this, so you can sort of see it progressing. We obviously don't do a video on every change we make, but we're at a point now where we're pretty happy. We've got the layout pretty close. The wheelbase is much longer than the stock buggy as well, which was key. Don't know how it's going to perform. We're going to find out. So keep an eye out for the next video. Cheers.